And they're back. The Owls have flown back to campus. The class of 2019 is ready for their first semester in cherry and white.
Returning students have plenty of new sights to see around campus, but a lot of those are not yet finished.
And those aren't the only changes you'll see along North Broad. A new policy on campus is cracking down on cyclists.
Welcome back, Owls. You're watching Temple Update. I'm Becca Hendrickson.
And I'm Melissa Steininger. The big story to start off the semester, Temple's latest move to combat sexual violence on campus. Temple's one of 55 universities nationwide being investigated for how they handle cases of sexual assault. Now, Temple says it's doing its part in dealing with this serious issue. The school plans on implementing a new training program mandatory for all Temple students. Updates Phil DuPont has the story.
Beginning a new school year starts in the summer, with a barrage of emails from all over the university. But go back to August 13th and you'll find one you might have missed. A message from President Theobald overviewing a new online mandatory program to be completed by all Temple students. While programs like this already exist for incoming freshmen, sources from the university say the program could be anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes in length for all upperclassmen. More than 22 forcible sexual assaults have been reported since 2011 on main campus. A number campus security expects to rise in the upcoming Security and Fire Safety Report. But, as Dr. Kimberly Chestnut explains, the Wellness Resource Center has been sponsoring interactive programs to keep that number as low as possible for years.
So Walk a Mile in Her Shoes has been going on for the past 3 or 4 years. But we also have Clothesline Project. We also did Take Back the Night last year. But I feel really good about the commitment that the leadership has shown to this issue, and I'm excited about what will come of it.
While walking a mile in heels like these might be a more interactive way to take a stand against sexual assault, one Temple leader thinks that the online program could be just as effective.
Whether it be the freshmen receiving the various amounts of training that they receive during orientation throughout their freshman year, but also now the upperclassmen taking ongoing education with these training modules that are really going to, keep this at the front of their mind, saying, hey, this is something that we have to pay attention to.
The program has yet to be rolled out, but is expected sometime this semester. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Phil DuPont.
51. That's the number of women who claim that Temple alum Bill Cosby sexually assaulted them. 5 new women came forward just in the last 2 weeks. Sexual assault allegations against Cosby span 5 decades. That includes his time as a member of the Temple Board of Trustees. Cosby admitted to obtaining drugs to give to women in a 2005 deposition. He cut ties with the university when he resigned from the board in December.
A recent Temple Law grad has been found dead in a parked car outside of a Hockessin, Delaware nursing home. Police discovered the body Monday night. They say 27-year-old Shazim Upal had been shot once in the upper torso. Upal was last seen driving Sunday night in the Pike Creek area. Upal graduated from Beasley in July.
A scary moment hours before the semester's first classes. Students received a TU alert early Monday morning about an armed robbery near campus. Police say that George Lee Smith carried a handgun into the 7-Eleven on Broad and Diamond. He demanded cigarettes and money from the register. The suspect was caught in the area of 19th and Fontaine shortly after the robbery. He's being charged with aggravated assault, robbery, and reckless endangerment.
The Owls have landed. Back on campus, that is. Eager new students and their families lined Broad Street to unpack their trunks for move-in day. The iconic orange bins were filled and rolled into dorms to get students ready for the upcoming school year. And once the new Owls were settled in their nest, they flocked to Liacouras for Temple Fest. Clubs and organizations were out in full force representing the school's sports teams, Greek life, and everything in between. New students had a chance to see what their new home had to offer. The annual student organization fair took place in front of Ritter Hall because of the construction on Liacouras Walk. And Temple isn't the only thing that changed around campus, Becca. We've been seeing construction everywhere.
And it's kind of cool in the sense that it's our senior year, but also not, because we see all these projects, but we don't get to see the fruit of them.
Exactly. So we'll make the best of it. But updates, Dan Ray is live on Liacouras with details on campus construction.
Dan, when can students finally see the construction clearing up?
Thanks, Becca. As you can see, I'm standing in front of the demolition of Barton Hall, where the new library is set to be in place in a few years. There's also ongoing construction on Leocor's Walk, and students say they were a little surprised that the walk was still tied up the first week of classes. A portion of Leocor's Walk in front of Alter Hall is currently blocked off, leaving a narrow walkway for students to make their way to classes. The plan to create more social space and beautify the surroundings is taking longer than expected. But the big construction seen on campus is the destruction that will give rise to Temple's plan for a new library, a $190 million project. Though the construction won't be completed until 2018, students are still enthusiastic about the finished product.
The new library will be a great addition because the one that we have now is a little run down, outdated. So putting a new one in will be good for students, and anybody that's living in 1940 can just go across the street and study or print something, and that'll be really useful.
I'm excited that some of the funding is going towards that, making our campus beautiful, because I think that's a very important thing to have.
Of course, with construction also comes noise. Workers often begin early, and for some students, it isn't the most pleasant wake-up call.
So every morning at 7 a.m. they start construction. So they have this really loud beeping noise that they play before they move any of the equipment, so people know that they're going to start construction, and it just wakes me up every single day.
While Barton's demolition won't be completed until December, the renovations on Leocor's Walk should be wrapped up by the end of September. Until then, don't expect that noise to die down anytime soon. Reporting live for Temple Update, I'm Daniel Ray. Back to you guys in the studio.
Now, Temple construction projects don't just stop on campus. They extend all the way to the Schuylkill. Temple rowers traded in their paddles for hard hats last month to help with the long-awaited boathouse renovation. A $5.5 million donation is being put to use after it helped save the crew and rowing teams when they were initially cut in the spring of 2014. The condemned East Park Canoe House will once again be the home for the crew and rowing. Mayor Nutter weighed in on the impact the renovation will have on the city.
From the results, Temple University and President Theobald and the city get to come together to restore an historic boathouse. Temple gets the proper facilities they should have for great student athletes. Philadelphia Police Department Marine Unit gets more storage space. It's just a winner all the way around.
That project is expected to be completed by the summer of 2016.
The Office of Sustainability has put up signs telling cyclists to walk their bikes between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. during the school week. Bike Temple coordinator told Blake Larson that people around campus recognize bikes as a problem on the busy campus. The organization decided to fix the situation.
Safer environment for pedestrians. While this is a great campus for riding your bike between the hours of 8 and 5, especially during class changes, there's just not really enough room for people to safely negotiate on their bikes without putting pedestrians in some unnecessary danger. So we're just trying to keep people from getting their toes rolled over.
Larson also said that even cyclists are appreciating the new rules, and all the feedback for the signs has been positive.
Coming up on Temple Update, 3 years ago, Anderson Cooper received the Luke Klein Award for Media Excellence, and now one of his CNN colleagues is going to be honored. Find out who.
And coffee lovers rejoice, a sweet deal coming to campus. The favorite, stay tuned to find out what's new. Temple Update, we'll be right back.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
CNN's Wolf Blitzer is receiving SMC's top honor this year. The network's lead political reporter will be presented the Lou Klein Excellence in the Media Award. Blitzer has worked with the network for more than 25 years. SMC's Dean Boardman had this to say: "We are thrilled that our students will have the opportunity to talk with and learn from one of the nation's leading broadcasters." That ceremony will be held on October 29th in Mitten Hall. And this is such exciting news for Temple Update. Two of our alums, Rob Sizowitz and Patrick Rosenbaum, will be honored alongside Wolf Blitzer. The pair were selected for the Rising Star Award for their startup company, 2020 Visual Media. The two started the company in 2011.
And in news around the country, heartbreak in Virginia, a story especially close to journalists' hearts. WDBJ reporter Allison Parker and her photographer Adam Ward were shot dead at a shopping plaza during a live broadcast. Vester Flanagan, the shooter, took his own life after fleeing the scene. Flanagan is a former employee who was fired from the station. Parker's boyfriend Chris Hurst, an anchor at WDBJ, attended Temple in 2005 and 2006. We now know the fate of James Holmes, the man who killed 12 and injured 70 in a movie theater shooting in 2012. A jury sentenced Holmes to the maximum 3,318 years in prison, without the possibility of parole. The courtroom crowd applauded the sentence. Holmes showed no emotion as he was led away.
Moving now across the pond, London subway workers canceled strikes originally planned for this week. Two 24-hour walkouts had originally been scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday. The walkout threat comes as a result of a long-time dispute over plans to start an all-night train service. Potential strike days have been moved to September 8th and 10th if a deal is not reached by those dates.
Well, the tube wasn't a problem when Temple students were across the pond. And this summer, study abroad students say Temple alumni living in England got the chance to watch Dean Boardman interview a panel of prominent British journalists. After the panel, Dean Boardman hosted cocktails and conversations with all those in attendance. Keep up with Temple Update's London correspondents Kylie Winkler and Allison Bootlin throughout the semester on Temple Update and online at templeupdate.com.
Still to come on Temple Update, Update's own Italian stallion is back on the sports desk. Rocco DeSangro will get you ready for the only thing people on campus really care about, the football game against Penn State.
Temple Update, we'll be right back.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
You know, the buzz around campus from, both the team and anyone who's covered them is that this is the year. This is the year that Temple football beats Penn State.
Oh, I completely agree. Everyone is so excited and they're pumped up. I think just the energy in that stadium alone is going to motivate the football team.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a sellout, but let's find out for sure from the sports desk. Rocco, what can you tell us?
Becca, I can't tell who's more excited for this Penn State game, you, me, or the football team. As opening day approaches, the football team is preparing for one of its biggest tests of the season. September 5th marks the 44th matchup in the Temple-PSU rivalry, a rivalry that Penn State has absolutely dominated the last time. The last time Temple beat Penn State was in 1941, but it's 2015 and the Owls hope to finally flip the script. Temple would love to forget about last year's loss to Penn State, a game where costly turnovers killed the Owls. Temple's defense picked off potential first-round draft pick Christian Hackenberg twice, but the Owls' offense was stagnant, turning the ball over 4 times. The Owls were one of the nation's top-ranked defenses last season, and this year they return all 11 starters, and they seem more than ready for the big game ahead. If Temple wants any chance of beating Penn State, quarterback P.J. Walker needs to bring his A game and leave last year's blowout in the dust. If the Owls don't beat themselves with turnovers, then they have a good shot to start out the season 1-0. Some of you may remember Connor Riley from his time with the football team. Riley backed up quarterback P.J. Walker for the majority of last season, but when he was asked to step up and make a play, he did just that. Now, spring, but just last Sunday, his phone rang. Riley got offered a position to coach and play for a football team in France.
I think was going to be an opportunity that I had again.
Although he won't be wearing cherry and white this year, he has very high hopes for the 2015 team and sees a bowl game for them in the near future. The team Riley will be playing for is based out of Rouen, France. The season will start in January and go until about June. Well, congrats, Connor. We'll definitely be rooting for you. And the women's soccer team has earned themselves a top 10 spot in the NSCAA regional rankings, and so far they're living up to the hype. Temple is yet to allow a goal in the 2 games they have played this season, and they're outscoring opponents 8-0. The Owls hope for their 3rd straight win when they take on Loyola tomorrow at 4 at the TU Ambler campus. But that's all the time we have here at the Sports Desk. Follow us on Twitter at TU_SportsDesk or like us on Facebook for your up-to-the-date updates on all things Temple sports. I'm Rocco DeSangro, 1738. Back to you, Becca and Melissa.
Coming up on Temple Update, it doesn't look like we're getting a break from that heat anytime soon. Tag Houck will have your 5-day forecast.
We're right back.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You know, I think the only bad thing about this weather is that most of us are stuck inside going to classes.
Yeah, I mean, even walking to classes, though, it's so hot out that people are like sweating by the time they get in there.
You know, Tag, tell me that this kind of weather is going to stick around for the weekend.
Well, guys, I can tell you one thing. It will definitely be here for the weekend, and even further than the weekend, too. We're looking at heading into next week. The theme this week, though, it's sun, and, you know, you'll see plenty of it. But first, let's get a look at your current conditions. Today, mostly sunny, hot, with an exclamation point, 83 degrees, a low of 63 degrees expected. This picture here taken looking at the bell tower, plenty of students out and about on campus today. You've got some construction going on as they're walking around. But now let's take a look at our friend Sally, the sorority sister. As you can see, Sally's got her white on because, well, it's the last weekend for wearing white, heading into Labor Day, and she's got her backpack heading into class. One thing she will need, though, is her sunglasses because it is very sunny out there. As we head into our 5-day forecast, Friday, high of 83 degrees, low of 66. Tomorrow, Saturday, expect a high of 86 degrees. It'll be mostly sunny, a little bit of clouds, low of 66 degrees as we head into Sunday. You know, most of this week is very sunny, but Sunday we're expecting a bit of a chance of showers. High of 89 degrees, so almost reaching into the 90s, low of 69. And as we head into Monday and Tuesday, reaching almost into the 90s. As always, follow us on TU_WeatherWatch on Twitter for all the latest weather updates. Back to you guys.
That's all we have today for Temple Update. For all the latest, you know the drill. Log on to our website, templeupdate.com.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
And you can always watch us 24/7, Comcast 50, Verizon 45. For Melissa Steininger and the rest of the Update team, I'm Becca Hendrickson.
We'll see you next time.